What's up guys, welcome to ABAUTO. Now today we're doing something different to normal.
So Adam from ABAUTO and I have been chatting behind the scenes, and as he's recently just purchased a very nice Mercedes AMG CLA45s, we're going to offer like a kind of two-part video.
If you've not heard of Nick, he runs a Mercedes tips and tricks channel and it's absolutely amazing. He gives all these great tips on Mercedes and he has very kindly put together 10 AMG tips for me to test out right here in my CLA45s.
So in my video I'm going to run through the Mercedes AMG 10 tips and things you need to know, and then Adam's going to have a look at some of those tips and see which ones apply to his specific car. Did you know that even today in 2021 that Mercedes AMG still deploy this tactic, and it is the one man, one engine philosophy?
Now the first thing Nick talks about in his video is the one man, one engine philosophy. This is something incredible that Mercedes AMG do just for the Mercedes AMG cars. What it basically means is each engine is hand constructed by just one person. And what makes it even cooler is that person actually signs his name on a plaque on the engine bay. Let's take a look now who constructed my engine in the CLA45s. So here we have the engine on the incredible CLA45s. Now of course this engine is not as beastie as the amazing GT4 door that Nick had access to, but still, this is an incredible engine. The CLA45s is actually the fastest four-cylinder production engine in the world. In fact, I do have a full video coming soon explaining all about this engine, taking you through all the nice little nitty-gritty details, giving it a test drive, and just explaining really why this engine's incredible and it is the fastest four-cylinder production engine in the world. Anyway though, let's take a look. Here we go, we've got the plaque here. Just like the other AMG that Nick showed, it's handcrafted by Manuel Huber. Now, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, just like Nick said in his, so I do apologise if I've just butchered someone's name, but you did a fantastic job, Manuel, and yeah, the engine's been absolutely incredible, and what a cool touch to have a plaque on your engine to show you who built it. These are the little fine details of AMG that we all love.
So yes, as Mercedes AMG engines are hand-built, they do have a very strict running-in period, and if you purchase from a main Mercedes Benz dealership or showroom, they will of course explain this to you and detail what you can and can't do, just for the first 1,000 miles anyway. It is all detailed in the manual as well, but you can also find it on a sticker up here on the top right-hand corner of the windscreen. And basically it states notes on breaking in a new vehicle. So for the first 1,000 miles it states no full load operation, no kickdown. So if you don't know what the kickdown is, that's the accelerator pedal. When you push it all the way down, you've got that kind of clicky bit at the bottom. So it's advised not to go to that for the first 1,000 miles. Also not above 85 miles an hour, and then also not above 4,500 revs over on the right hand side here. So it's only for the first 1,000 miles or so, and then it says to increase the load slowly after that.
The engine running period. Now this is something I've taken really seriously with my CLA45s. As Nick showed with the GT63, there's actually a sticker here on the window, and this explains exactly what you're supposed to do with the car. This tells you that it is official and you do need to run the engine in. I know a lot of people say, you know, modern cars, you don't have to run an engine anymore, but with an AMG, the handcrafted engine, you know, I really want to take care of this car. You know, even if I don't keep it forever, I still want the next owner to enjoy it, and I just want this car to live as long as possible, and it's really important to run the engine in. So that's a great tip by Nick, and I fully agree. However, it is absolutely agonizing and painful to run an engine in, especially a car as fast as this. For my first month, I think it took me to get the 1,000 miles, I was just cruising around in comfort mode and I just wanted to unleash the beast. It was torture, but I'm so glad I did it, and yeah, no regrets. The engine is now, I think we're almost done 2,000 miles now, and I swear every time the mileage goes up by a couple hundred, the car just gets even meaner. I mean, the pops are on point. Yeah, I'm so glad I ran the engine in. It's just getting better and better, this car.
So once you've completed your running in period, what you'll then be able to do is a launch control, or what Mercedes Benz call a race start. Basically launching the car from 0 to 60 in its fastest possible time.
Yes, launch control. Now the CLA45s definitely has launch control, and I cannot wait to test it. Now guys, we will be testing out launch control, or race start as Mercedes like to call it, very soon. But I'm not going to show it in this video because the truth is, I've actually not done it yet. Ever since I got this car, I've been sharing my first time experiences with all of you guys. And for that reason, I'm saving launch control and race start for a very special video where I'm going to film my first time reaction. We're going to go all out. We're going to find a really safe bit of road. I mean, that's another reason too. I want to find a really good safe patch of road, or I might see if I can hire out an airstrip so we can really test it. And of course, guys, I promise I have not forgotten, and it is coming. My wife has agreed if we hit 200 likes on that previous video. When we hit 1,000 miles on the CLA45s and we unlock race start, which is launch control, how about we set the cameras up and we launch Becky?
No, but if you do that, everyone's obviously going to vote because they know we don't like it.
We would launch her in the CLA45s, full race start, full launch control. I want to see her reaction. She has never experienced launch control in a car this fast. I mean, I haven't taken her out in race mode yet, and to be honest, I didn't really take her out in Sport Plus much in the C43, so that's going to be a really fun video. I cannot wait.
Did you know that if you've purchased a Mercedes AMG brand new in the UK, you may get an invite for a track day at Mercedes Benz World?
Yes, the AMG Track Day. This is one of the amazing perks of buying a brand new AMG. I just cannot wait to take the CLA45s out to Mercedes World in Surrey and do my free track day. A couple of years ago, we took the C43 and it was such an incredible experience. I loved going around the drift track. We were able to do some brake tests in simulated ice. The CLA45s is going to be so fun on the drift track. So of course, guys, we're going to be taking the CLA45s out to Mercedes World. I'm going to film the whole experience. I think I'm going to book it around the summertime. So in the summer, there's going to be an awesome video, hopefully, of me with the CLA45s on a track, testing the drift circuit, which is just going to be so fun in drift mode. You're going to see how the car performs on the circuit. They do some really good braking tests there as well, like I mentioned. So you get to slam the brakes on at 80 miles per hour, which I have done before in this car, unfortunately, and the brakes are incredible. But also as well, they have this simulated ice patch and it's constantly wet. It's like a synthetic surface. And they basically get you to drive to 40 miles per hour and then slam your brakes on the ice. And really, it just shows off the incredible traction control system in these cars. And in the C43 at least, the car just stopped in a perfect straight line. It was incredible. So yeah, that's something to really look forward to on the channel, and also I can't wait as well. So great tip, Nick. If you own a brand new AMG, check out Mercedes World in Surrey. You should be entitled to a full day at the Mercedes Museum and a full driving experience.
Now, on some selected AMGs, you can view some engine data. So if you're a true AMG enthusiast and you love your high-performing cars, this is definitely the menu for you.
As Nick said in his video, there's some amazing screens here if you own an AMG. So on the menu here, you can see we've got AMG Performance. So if we go in the CLA45s, you're first greeted with this really cool screen. If you see here, you've got gas and brake. You see there, it shows you how much percentage you're putting down of the throttle, which is super cool. Let's just put it in race mode. I love the screens. You get the race mode screen there. So we hit OK, or you can just press back. It will automatically go back. Now you can see the screen is even cooler because we're in race mode. You can see how much more sensitive the throttle is. See how it went straight to 100? When I tapped it in comfort, it went, I think, like 17%, and it just goes straight up to 60 in race mode. So super sensitive throttle response in race mode. And then of course you've got your brake as well. So, oh, that's really cool. As you brake, you get this little graphic here too. So I'm at 24% brake, all the way down to 100. You have to press pretty hard to get 100%. So I'm going to pop it back into comfort mode so the car is a little bit more quiet. And then we go back here. Now, so we want to go to the top here. So if you scroll along to engine, this is my favorite screen, I think. This is so fun when driving. On the left there, you've got your engine output from your horsepower. And then you've got some temperatures of your oil, your engine oil. And then on the right, you've got your engine torque. And then below that, you've got your transmission's oil temperature. And just like the other dials, they animate really nicely as you drive. So just imagine having this on the screen while you're driving. It creates such a good driving experience, and it really makes you feel like you're in a cockpit, and quite frankly, a very special car. So we can go along to consumption now too. This just gives you a nice little graph of your mile per gallon. As you can see, I'm doing 11.2 right now, but that's Don't worry guys, it's not that bad. I think if I drive in race mode like a lunatic, I will do around 15 miles per gallon, but overall I'm doing around 24, I think, which is not bad for a car with 420 horsepower. The reason why it's 11.2 is because I've been sat idle with the engine running. And then of course, the last one is the dynamic select. Now this is where you can build your own individual config in the car. It's absolutely incredible. I have built a super config in this car, and I'm going to be doing a separate video explaining all about my settings for my individual config, and then I'm going to take you guys out for a drive so you can experience it as well. So individual setting is awesome in this car.
Now, one very unique thing with Mercedes AMGs is I have covered many times before on the kind of walkthrough guides of Command or MBUX and customizing your instrument cluster. These are all videos I've done before. However, AMGs have a trick up their sleeve. So before I've mentioned you can customize your kind of instrument cluster and change the design. In this, you have a special one which is reserved for AMGs only.
Yes, the AMG screens in the digital dash. Now, I love a digital dash, but the AMG screens in this car right here are insane. So let's take a look at my favorite, which is Super Sport on the CLA45s. As you can see here on the left, you've got the awesome speedometer in digital, and it's even got a nice little graph that goes up. Just makes it feel even more cool and sporty. On the right here, I've got it set up for the RPM, which also has a digital and a nice little graph. So having a digital RPM reader is really cool. It's not something you see on many cars. And of course, you've got the massive RPM reader, rev counter in the middle here with the dial, and it is just so fun when driving, seeing that dial just pop as you floor it to the red line, which goes all the way up to 7,000 RPM. The customization options are also really good too. You can display any driver assistance, you can access your telephone, you've got navigation, AMG performance, of course, trip data, radio, media. You can change the styles and displays as Nick showed in his video, and you can also check out your service information. But the best ones here that I want to show you guys now are the AMG performance dials. So you've got 3 screens, and you can change the data on all 3 screens. They're fully customizable. So if we start here with the left screen, you've of course got your digital speedometer. Then you've got a really cool digital clock. Then here you've got data on mile per gallon, even more data on miles of the car. Then you've got more data on the car. And then here you can control your music. So at the moment I've got it set to USB. If I had my USB stick in, I'd be able to choose what music I wanted to listen to. Same wise too, if you have it set on radio, you can choose your radio station. So now let's take a look at the center screen. So here you've got your big rev counter, and while driving in the middle here, it would display your gear you're in. You get a nice big yellow number telling you exactly what gear you're in, so it's awesome when driving. But if you scroll down, you can get your temperatures. So here's our oil temperature and our transmission temperature. And here you can see your horsepower and your newton meters of torque. Remember, these screens are just for AMGs. You only get these on the special AMG models. The next one here, this tells you all the information about your drive mode. So right now the engine is on moderate, the transmission is in drive, the AMG dynamics is in basic, and then the suspension's in comfort and the exhaust is balanced. And then here we've got a G meter. So this is really cool. This is brilliant if you're on the track or if you're just driving really fast. This will actually show you where the center of gravity is in the car. So this is, you can see the G's of your turn in and where you're going. It's super cool. If you're a big kid like me, you'll love screens like this. And it's all really easy to handle because you use this little touchpad here, and you can scroll left, right, up and down, and it controls here. And the second touchpad here on this side controls the command screen in the middle. So now let's take a look at the screen on the right hand side. So as I mentioned earlier, you've got this amazing digital rev counter with this cool graph at the top. But if we scroll down, we get the tyre pressures. So if the engine was running and I'd been driving for a little bit, it would display our tyre pressures at the bottom there for all 4 tyres. And it's also got your oil temperature and your transmission temperature as well. Then below here, you've got another cool screen. This shows your horsepower you're using and your boost and newton meters of torque, which is super cool. And then just like the center screen, you can check what drive mode you're in and all the options of the car. And then again, you can have the G meter on the right hand side if you want. Here you've got some more consumption data. So this is showing you how you're using your fuel and your mile per gallon. And the last one here is a map. So you can actually have a map showing your location while driving. And if you're using the sat nav, you'll have the bigger map here on this screen. And then you'll have a your directions here on the left screen or the center screen, and then on this screen you've got even more with this little mini map. And I really like this little mini map. I tend to have it on at all times because it's a really nice way to see on the dash which corners are coming up, and you know, just an awesome feature to have in a digital dash. It's one of the biggest benefits of having a digital dash, having that map there.
So, of course, it's not all about 0 to 60s and lap times and track times and that sort of thing. Sometimes you need to drive the car sensibly. Well, should I say most of the time anyway. So, in most cars, you'll find the dynamic select switch over here on the top left somewhere.
Nick mentioned how amazing the driving modes are in these AMGs, and he is not lying. Let's take the CLA45s out now for a drive and have a quick look at some of the drive modes in action. Okay, so testing the drive modes in the CLA45s. So right now we are in comfort mode. If we go down here on the dial, we can go into Slippy, which is an AMG drive mode, and it is designed for driving in the rain and the snow. So first impressions, throttle response is reduced significantly. That's to stop you from doing that heavy acceleration and skidding in the rain or snow. Of course, the CLA45s has an amazing four-wheel drive and traction control system, so to be honest, I never really use Slippy in the rain, but I could definitely see myself using it if I was in the ice or the snow. It also reduces the power, so I can feel the car isn't as jumpy as normal. It's still really powerful, of course, because it's the CLA45s, but I remember in my C43 we tested the 0 to 60 times in Slippy mode and Sport Plus, and the 0 to 60 was considerably faster in Sport Plus than it was in Slippy, so there's definitely some power reduction there, and it does feel the same in the CLA45s. Next drive mode is, of course, comfort mode. Now, comfort mode is kind of your bread and butter. You know, it's the most comfortable drive mode. The suspension softens as soft as it can go. The steering is a little bit looser. The rear diff and the impressive AMG dynamics, that all goes into the most stable and most secure settings as well, so the car's going to be really easy to drive. But yeah, it is comfortable to drive the CLA45s in comfort mode. I mean, when I first started driving it, it felt a little bit more stiffer than the C43, but now that I've got used to it, and of course I've got the AMG performance seats, which are nowhere near as soft as the standard seats, but I love them, and yeah, I would happily do a long journey in comfort mode in this car. Next you've got sport mode. So sport mode is kind of like the in-between of comfort and Sport Plus. So if you want a little bit of sporty, but you don't want the car to act crazy, then sport is a good mode for you. This is a mode that I sometimes use on my commute if I just want to be a little bit sharp around the corners, a little bit quicker throttle response, but I don't want that full-blown AMG Sport Plus experience because I'm just too tired. But yeah, sport mode is great, and I've been using it quite a bit actually. It's good fun. Next up is Sport Plus, which is brilliant. Sport Plus increases the throttle response again. It automatically opens the valves on the exhaust and activates AMG real sound. And yeah, it is definitely more excited in Sport Plus, and the car just really wants to go. And the steering, it really tightens up as well. You get some really nice direct steering with lots of feedback. And then of course we have race mode, which is just Sport Plus on steroids. And race mode gives you the most pops from the exhaust at the back, and it keeps the gears really low. So you can see right now we're on the dual carriageway and we're in 5th gear, and if I flip it into comfort mode, you'll see the gearbox go straight into 6th gear, straight into 7th, and eventually 8th, although I decided to shift down to 6th then because I went over a bump. But comfort mode keeps the gears nice and high, and race mode, you see that it immediately took us down to 4th gear because it wanted us to get that boost, and yeah, it keeps the gears low, the RPM's nice and high, and it's just so much fun. And of course you get that really nice tight direct steering. Now we also, of course, have the individual drive mode. Now you can configure this to however you want. I personally have built a really cool driving config, which is, it's kind of like a mixture between race mode and comfort, so I get all the nice comfort for my daily drive, but I get all the fun and all that fast, furious throttle response and nice turn-in from race mode. So it's a really fun drive mode, and actually just experimenting around and playing with the drive modes and building your own can be so fun in these cars.
Now next up is emotion start. Now I guess there's no way of putting this lightly, but this is definitely a way of showing off and definitely a German thing. So of course when you turn on Mercedes AMG engines, no matter what AMG it is, whether it's a 2 litre, 3 litre, 4 litre V8 or even on some of them a 6 litre V12, they all do sound really, really good when you turn it on. But emotion start basically turns it on with a little bit more noise because, well, why not really? Maybe you just want to show off. So to do this, basically you just hold one of the paddles, so you've got your down paddle here on the left to go down a gear, and then this one over here to go up a gear. You basically just hold one of them as you turn it on. And yeah, basically turns the car on with the valves open and revs it slightly more, so you get a bit of popping or crackling from the back. Yeah, very German Mercedes AMG thing to do there. So that's, no complaints on that one, because yeah, if you can turn your car on, makes a little bit more noise, I'm all for that.
Ah yes, AMG Emotion Start. This is so much fun to do in the CLA45s. I'm not going to lie, I do it every time I can. Since we're having some fun, let's do some tests now in this video and let's see if we can get some pops and bangs out of the CLA45s. It's always good fun doing AMG Emotion Start, especially in the CLA45s. Now, hopefully we got a good one there, but if we didn't, I'll show you some clips that I took a couple of weeks ago on my phone. I got some incredible starts.
Now of course, if you didn't know how it works with Mercedes Benz, Daimler, who own Mercedes Benz, also owns some sub-brands as well. So you've got Daimler at the top, Mercedes Benz, then there are Smart, then there's EQ, and then there's Mercedes AMG. So not a separate company, they're just kind of sub-brands within the same company. But the reason why I mention this is because there is another sub-brand, not kind of owned by Daimler as far as I'm aware, but it's called BRABUS. So BRABUS are actually backed by Mercedes, so if you wanted to increase the horsepower of your Mercedes AMG even more, you can do that. And say you want to put a body kit on it, you can do that as well. And the best thing about this, it is backed by Mercedes Benz.
Okay, so let's take a look at the BRABUS website and see what cars they're selling. Doesn't look like they have a souped up CLA45s. However, this right here really caught my eye. It is, of course, the C43 AMG, and if you know me, you know I love the C43. So let's check out what BRABUS have done to the C43. So we can go down into details here. Wow, it looks really cool. It looks like it's got some custom wheels, BRABUS badging. That looks like a custom exhaust there to me. No doubt it sounds absolutely incredible because the C43 already sounds incredible. What have they done to the interior as well? Not too much in the interior. This looks like a pretty low-key BRABUS edition, but I bet it's faster as well. What have we got here? We've got 450 brake horsepower. So they've managed to add on almost 60 brake horsepower. So this thing must be absolutely rapid. And to be honest, the C43 is not really about flamboyance and showing off as much. So I think that's why they've kept it a little bit low-key and they haven't gone too crazy with the body kit. But I love the C43, and yeah, these BRABUS AMGs are absolutely insane. I mean, what else have we got here? Wow, it looks like they've done an AMG GT 4-door. It's actually sold. Someone owns this car. Someone's bought it. 323,000 euros. Let's check it out. That must be the BRABUS signature strip there. Bit like BMW's, a little bit cheeky. You can see it's got a carbon fiber body kit already. Custom exhaust, which just, as you can imagine, would sound incredible on this car with that V8. Looks like we've got some nice custom wheels. Even the brake calipers have BRABUS badging on. And wow, yeah, they've gone to town on the interior as well with some custom embroidery, even custom lit up sills. Yeah, this must just be absolutely incredible. I mean, the normal GT63 is just incredible, so this must just be insane. And it's got 800 horsepower. 800 horsepower, that is just absurd.
My final one today, guys, is did you know that most AMGs can take advantage of a higher octane fuel? Yes, if you check your fuel filler cap, you'll see on most AMGs the wording RON 95 and RON 98. If you see run 98, then your car can actually accept a higher octane fuel, resulting in increased performance. Of course it costs more than normal fuel, but it is entirely up to you to see if it's worth it.
Thanks Nick for some great insight there on the fuel grades on these cars. I have definitely been filling mine up with the premium fuel. Now you can put the normal unleaded fuel in these cars, but given the option, I think with a car like this, with the hand-built AMG engine, you want to get as much performance and you want to take care of it as much as possible. So me personally, I've only been filling up with the super unleaded premium 97-98 RON. So there we have it guys, that's me testing out Nick O'Leary's 10 tips and tricks if you own an AMG. Thank you so much to Nick for putting this video together and sharing all these tips and tricks with me. It's been great to test these out in the CLA45s and help explain these more to you guys. Really good fun doing a collaboration with you. If you haven't checked his channel out guys, it's Nick O'Leary. I will put it in the description below. He does some amazing content on Mercedes. He has access to some incredible cars, which I'm a little bit jealous about, but you know, his videos are so helpful, and yeah, if you like my videos, you'll probably like his, so check him out. So I hope you enjoyed this video guys. If you did, please hit that like button because that always helps me and the channel out. And we've got some great content coming this year on the CLA45s and other Mercedes stuff, so if you're enjoying the videos, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much again for watching. I'll see you guys next time.